The government's excuses for not extending the Brexit transition period are laughable. There was a tweet out by the chief negotiator David Frost yesterday saying that the UK government would not seek an extension. We would come out at the end of this year, and if the EU offered an extension, we would refuse it. Reason being that he gave is that an extension would only prolong the negotiations. It would increase the amount of uncertainty, and it would leave us bound by the EU rules and regulations, and what we really need now is flexibility to control our own affairs. In fact, this has been echoed in other places and tried to be put in the coronavirus environment, which is we need the flexibility to be able to respond to coronavirus correctly. This is all daft. Let's disarm it. Firstly, an extension would only mean prolonging negotiations. Yeah, fool. That's the point. The two words mean the same thing. Extend, prolong. Prolong, extend. Oh, asking for a prolongation would only mean an extension. Yeah. And you want to prolong and you want to extend because you've got a big job. You've got time taken out of your big job by dealing with an international pandemic. Well, that's saying the same thing twice. And so, therefore, you need more time. You need to adapt. If you genuinely want to do a deal, you need more time in order to be able to do it. The notion that this would then introduce more uncertainty by extending the current rules that we have and the current systems that we have, all known territory extending, that would be uncertain. But yet, being prepared to chop us off at the end of the year, disrupting countless sectors and going into territory that we haven't been in before, that isn't known at the moment, that's meant to be the nirvana-like calm, still waters of certainties. What's the dude smoking? Obviously it's not. And the notion, furthermore, that we have to somehow escape the rules of the EU so that we've got flexibility to respond to changing economic circumstances or the coronavirus crisis or whatever. Again, that's absolutely freaking daft. If you want flexibility, where do you want that flexibility? Come on, let's be specific here. After about 4 years of the government and the champions of Brexit always being asked, so what rules do you want to change? So what rules do you want to change? And they got nothing. They're still using the same thing. Oh, we need flexibility to be free and independent. Okay, what rules are you going to change? And if you throw in something like, state aid rules, well, the whole EU system is relaxed on that anyway, so that all the different countries can shut borders or boost their companies and so forth and so on. The flexibility is there. This is just a daft excuse. And the reason why, I suspect, is that they have no intention of negotiating anyway. I mean, if they genuinely did want to do a deal, then they would genuinely want to have sufficient time in order to do it, which means that they would genuinely be looking at an extension and talking about it now, especially given that polls show the public support and their Brexiteers like Isabel, what's her face, saying that should be totally cool with an extension because it makes sense. So it looks like the government are just going to be going charging ahead with their crash out Brexit, with this obsolete from another era notion of jingoism, and just go charging for it. And it reminds me of something. It reminds me of that book my dad gave me on the psychology of military incompetence, written about 1967, I think. One of the greatest reasons for repeat military failing is generals and people in high position sticking with their military plans despite new information coming in saying the situation has changed. So it's that lack of adaptability, that stubbornness, that arrogant stubbornness, particularly when others are going to take it and not you, that has got us into trouble so many times when generals have been advised, no, we shouldn't go there. New reconnaissance says that there are tanks hiding or that they have Gatling guns on this stretch. And the general says, no, deny it, no, we've got to do it anyway. We said we would, therefore let's go. And this is the attitude of the government now. Blow the whistles, over the top we go, lads, we'll be all right. And this is where we need to call the government out now on it. So let's do that. Crazy. All right.